Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode 259 of the Thoughtium Navigating Now Virtual Roundtable Series Special Edition. I am your host, Anthony Ewing, CEO, co-founder here at Thoughtium, and I'm with part of the Thoughtium crew as part of our 2025 Thoughtium Wrapped. This is an exciting opportunity for us to look back and to commemorate those moments that mattered most in the growth of our business and the work that we do with our clients. So we're going to be touching a little bit on the creative aspect of our work, the learning aspect of our work, and our business. And to start us off, Hannah, we're gonna hand it over to you and share with us. You know, you're at the forefront of a lot of our creative work. As you look back at 2025, what mattered most in the creative realm for Thoughtium?
Yeah, I think a big thing as always is we always say that design is like the center of everything we do. And I think that this year that really showed through. And I think that's showing through like with the work we're doing with our clients, with the importance, I feel like deadlines are getting tighter, internal teams are even more stretched thin. So I think that the perspective we bring to design can really like be the solution and answer to that. I think an insight from this year, I'll speak directly to experience design because we've hosted a lot of in-person facilitations. We hosted one in office, which was amazing this year, and have had other in-person facilitations throughout the year. I think something that I've noticed, and I think as a result or kind of as an impact thing from I feel like you can't really talk about 2025 Wrapped without talking about AI. But I feel like AI being implemented into the workspace, the baseline for what's considered easy has changed. So when it comes to these in-person experiences, I feel like we're kind of like hungering for seeing that like visible human effort put into these experiences, and kind of like seeing that human touch that goes beyond, just AI prompts. I think a great example of this is for the facilitation we hosted in office this year. We really wanted to make that team feel like this space was like living and breathing for them. Like they could interact with it. It moved along with them. And part of that was creating what we called the workshop wall. The name is still pending, the official name. But what that basically was for like huge columns we cut out of butcher paper that we labeled and organized and had different prompts that participants were able to interact with like throughout their time here. Like answering different prompts, like putting their sticky notes on how you would use a flip chart. We had like a little section where they could add emoji stickers for how they were feeling coming into that day. And I think that added human touch really made the experience like richer. I think like, this was literally like butcher paper with my handwriting. I was like looking through Pinterest to see calligraphy that would like make this look really nice. But it wasn't like perfect by any means. But I think it was that imperfection that kind of like made it richer. And I think we talk a lot about human-centered design, and us as humans, like we're not perfect. And I feel like it can be like a charming aspect and a differentiator to see that even in the in-person experiences we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, I think what you're saying is in 2025, the human centricity aspect of our work just really came into focus. And some of the most like analog modalities that we put together for our clients and even for our team, they had a certain sense of kind of uniqueness or almost a premium quality to them. So more of that in 2026. Okay, are you ready for your holiday hot take, Hannah?
I'm ready.
Okay, holiday hot take from Hannah. Peppermint flavored items. Just for the holidays or all year round?
Oh, all year round.
Oh, okay. That's a hot take.
Okay, my favorite coffee creamer is peppermint mocha. And when I see it on the shelves, I stock up immediately.
Ooh.
And like I feel like they start like stocking it a few months before December. And I'm always like, I'll stock that up year round if I could.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Love
peppermint is the best flavor.
Yeah, I see like stockpiles of peppermint flavored creamer at your house.
I brought some to the office earlier this month, and it's gone now.
Yeah, we'll have to use that. All right, Norm, on to you. We're gonna move on to really the client relationship aspect of our business. Man, that really was a shining aspect of our business this past year. Deeper relationships with clients, more expansive work within our accounts. Tell us about the kind of client experience or the client relationship experience in 2025?
Well, I'll say what we were seeing is, especially just as much change that was happening in the markets, everybody was trying to find their footing. And in so many ways, that level of change, everybody was maybe delaying decisions and trying to figure out, like, what do we do? And so for many businesses, that like type of change or those types of shifts requires you to think differently, to act differently, and to come together in different ways. And so what we saw is those big moments, the clients coming to us. What we pride ourselves in is that we're also in that work. And so we deeply believe in the work. We know the impact of that work. And I would say in many ways, they were asking for us to create the environment for leaders to come in, to start to recreate their strategies, to think about the pivot points, to invest in themselves as leaders. And I would say a few things stood out. One was the in-person experience. I think now more than ever, people are looking for connection to the business, connection to each other, connection to the shifts that are happening in the business. And so the opportunity to create space, to create a unique environment, to do that work, to do your best work, has to be elevated from the day-to-day. I think second is we're seeing a lot of leaders acknowledge that maybe the type of leader they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, must look different. And so I think there is a more holistic view for situational leadership, for really understanding where I'm strong and areas that I need to evolve. And I think so many times, again, you can see yourself as a commercial leader or a leader of a given practice, but what are the ways that you're showing up to balance both driving performance, but also the human side? What are the parts around empathy and understanding and compassion? How does that show up that also matches the business results? So I think for us, again, there's, anytime there's change, I think there's a real opportunity to look at the work that you're doing and to show up differently. And our clients are asking us to do it in bigger ways. The relationships we're building, the connections we're building, they're asking for us to be true partners in that change.
Yeah, I love that. And that has resulted in, as you mentioned, like just opportunities to do bigger work with our clients. We've had a couple of accounts that, have started with very specific work that have come to us and said, we want you to scale this across the organization. And for us, that's such a great indicator of the health of the business and the value that we bring to the marketplace. I think we see more of that bigger, more scaled work across the organization for our clients in 2026. And Norm, you've been a big part of helping us realize that our work doesn't need to exist within a specific team or group of leaders, that some of our best work really should be seen across the organization. So thank you for that.
Maybe just one other quick thing to add, because I think, Hannah, you sparked something where you were talking about just the combination of technology and maybe even the human element or the design element. I would say what we're noticing is leaders aren't necessarily seeking just knowledge or learning for the sake of that content. I think in so many ways, they're looking for more of an experience or immersive experience. And so what we've noticed is the combination of community, the combination of smaller group discussions, more situational scenarios, more practice is what leaders are looking for. And so I think that's one of the shifts we saw really show up in spades with many of our clients is they didn't want to just tune in. They weren't looking to just, what's the quick fix? What's the most efficient way? It's like, we actually want to immerse ourselves. We want to be surrounded by others that are cross-discipline, maybe even, you could use the word like cross-athlete, the ability for them to be seen as business leaders in addition to their functional knowledge. So I think, again, what we're going to see, we saw it this year, and I think we're going to see it even more, is organizing around smaller groups, cross-discipline groups, to do more immersive experiences.
Love that. All right, Norm, holiday hot take.
I'm ready. I don't know the question, so I'm ready.
All right. The week between Christmas and New Year's, working that week between Christmas and New Year's, a time for real productivity, or is it fake work?
Oh, well, I'll say for me, it's real work, because I would say for the first time, I'm not getting maybe the demands and the one-offs. Do you have a second? Yeah. Can you take a look at this? And I have a high service orientation. And I love that. That's part of my brand. But in so many ways, I get to like clear the deck and do some bigger, deeper work. So for me, it's often the real work. I would say many look at the last maybe 2 to 3 weeks of December, and they're already talking about 26.
Absolutely. Love that. All right, Mary, over to you. So Mary is at the center of a lot of the work that we do with our learning and development communities, our L&D professionals, our trainers. She's one of the best L&D designers on our team, and maybe even in the industry, might I say. And I'd love, Mary, for you to give your look back at the L&D World in 2025. What did you see? What did we see here at Thoughtium?
Yeah, I feel like Hannah and Norm have touched on a lot of the contexts and what's going on in the world that has led, I think, to some of the shifts we're seeing in L&D, rise of AI and that kind of changing people's perspective of what learning, what growth should look like, or that desire for more immersive practical experience. And to me, that culminates in terms of the trend I'm seeing for like the theme I saw for 2025 for L&D is really a strong focus on truly moving behaviors, moving action, doing, and less, I would say, prioritization on shifting mindsets. And from the perspective I'm saying, it's not that mindset is not important. It's that people are already there. Like we saw this year a lot of clients from L&D teams come to us with, hey, this is a specific business challenge we're facing. How do we address it? How do we get people to move? Or our leaders know from their engagement results that they're not the best coaches. We really need them to be better coaches. We saw participants come into sessions like more, from my perspective, aware of these are the challenge areas I have. We better spend the next 90 minutes figuring out something for me to do about it. And so I think that translates to what you were saying for the live in-person experience of, folks want that immersive experience. They want that high contextualization to their work, to their role, to the business. They are expecting that now, I think, when they come to the sessions, and they're like, if I don't, like, they are coming expecting that they are going to leave with something, a lot of things maybe, to do very differently.
Yeah.
Like they want to see that behavior change. So there's like that clarity growing on L&D teams of what problems they're trying to solve, participants coming in more aware of and motivated too of what they want to change. And, maybe that's because of broader economic uncertainty or like AI making us more action oriented. But that's to me how it's resulting in the L&D space.
I love that. One incredible indicator of the value that L&D brings to your organization, even the work that we do with our clients, is that the organization is coming to us and saying, how do we tie L&D to specific behavior change, as opposed to like, how do we just give our folks great learning experiences? And the fact that we're having more and more conversations about solving real problems within organizations with learning and development is such a great indicator for what's to come in 2026. Okay. This is probably the holiday hot take that I'm most excited about that Mary has not heard of. I think it was specifically designed for Mary and her holiday spirit.
All right.
So Mary, holiday hot take. There is a correct amount of holiday spirit and most people overshoot it.
There's a correct amount. Okay. I guess I could say generally there is too much holiday cheer for me to handle. But like, I also don't want to deprive people if it makes them happy. Just, maybe the decorations stay at home instead of outside, like wearing all the outfits. Like, okay, bring joy to yourself. Maybe be conscious of
those around you
for others. I will say this year I did raise my health. Like I did actually add a decoration to my house.
Okay.
For the first time, I think, ever.
Okay.
So my holiday cheer bar is raising.
Okay.
Slowly.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. I love that. We all have different tastes for holidays. And
my favorite part of the holiday is resting and the quiet. And now I'm scared now that Norm is going to be checking our Slack statuses. I have to move my mouse around, but that's okay.
That's a wonderful way to spend your holidays. And Mary, thank you for that perspective on L&D in 2025. I will round us out with just a bit of a wrapped look back at our team and our business. I'll simply say that Thoughtium has become more human-centered and more account-based. And I know those two things might feel a lot different from each other, but you heard today about the fact that we're tripling down on designing and delivering great human-centered experiences. You've heard about how that is becoming a differentiator, not just in the work that we do, but also a differentiator in how our clients are thinking about developing and retaining their people. How can we become more human-centric in a world where everything around us, including technology, is changing so quickly? That has also challenged us from a business perspective to organize ourselves around accounts in really creative and focused ways so that we can continue to bring bigger and bigger work to our clients. And I think that's maybe one of the most gratifying aspects, if you look under the hood in our business in 2025, is we have these incredible account teams here at Thoughtium that all now have an even deeper and more unique interest in enabling our clients, connecting with people across the organization, and maybe most importantly, ensuring that the way that we're experienced is very consistent and very integrated. And, that's something that shouldn't necessarily have to be said. It's almost felt. But we always say that Navigating Now should be a really good look under the hood in terms of how we grow and build our business. So here's to more human centricity. Here's to more incredible work that we do with our clients. And ultimately, we want to thank you all, our community, our clients, our friends, and our family who tune in week over week here to Navigating Now. As you know, this is a commitment we make to you on a week-to-week basis. We go live every Thursday at 3 p.m. We want to wish you all a wonderful holiday season, however you may celebrate that holiday season. And we're so looking forward to seeing you all in 2026. Happy holidays.